God.
So yeah, there I stood, half naked with a rubber chicken and a jar of Nutella, trying to explain to my wife why we now have a throw rug with my face on it in the kitchen.
And you do, in fact, really have a throw rug. But it's not just your face.
It's the pinup throw rug. Thanks, the artist.
It is the
So every week,
the pinup artwork.
every week
throw
when you
rug.
tell us this stuff, like the trampoline on fire, believable. But this one, Nutella, naked, rubber chicken, that one kind of fits the bill, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Half the time they're bullshit, but this one's like, oh yeah,
and
on
that
brand.
fits.
the most difficult part about it is the fact that my wife loves the stupid rug now. So thanks to the artist formerly known as Auntie Quarter.
If you guys aren't familiar, go back and look at the past episodes. And there's one, we'll have to figure out which one it is, where we surprise Fifi with the artwork of him as a pinup riding a bomb that is now a throw rug in his kitchen.
Somebody ordered it.
And now you know the background. It's all because of Nutella and a rubber chicken.
I swear to God, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown if one more package shows up at my door from anybody. Like the Amazon guy is gonna get these hands like next time.
Oh,
All right, everyone send Fifi packages.
Please don't.
everybody join the Discord. Hit up myself or Scud. We got his mailing address. We got you.
Yeah, we do. All right, welcome to High Alpha Hooligans, everybody. I'm Scott, and as always, I've got Jimmy Chaos and Fifi. And today we have Luck. Luck is joining us. Luck is he runs Fox3 Managed Solutions. We'll let him talk about that here in a minute, but we're going to introduce him as our first sponsor on High Alpha Hooligans. The first one that listened to us and went, "I'll give these idiots a chance." Sure.
The man who's solely responsible for our ill-placed confidence.
So it's kind of the snowball that started an avalanche, really, because the backstory on it, I sent him an email and say, hey, run a group, do a stupid podcast, and he emailed back within, I don't know, like 15 minutes. He's like, bro, I got you. You're covered. And I was like, holy shit. And I immediately called these guys. I was like, bro, Fox3, we got it. We're sponsored. And then Fifi's like, man, what do you do? I was like, I just sent him an email. He's like, bro, I'm going to start emailing these guys.
Yeah. Oh, we were so amped. Immediately, we're like, is it like a real sponsor? Like, can we add his logo to our videos?
And I was like, dude, he already sent me the artwork.
Yeah, you know what? I need to add Toby's logo to the artwork. I'm gonna do that before we do it because I need to add the
DCS.
veterans for the DCS Veterans for Disabilities one because my goal is to actually have like that artwork splash screen end up looking like a NASCAR jacket. So I just want like everybody's stuff. So if you want your stuff up on there and rep us, shoot us an email or join the Discord and message us.
Yeah.
Leave a comment, whatever. Yeah.
Luck, thanks for being here. You joined and flew with us. We can talk about that a little bit later too. But in addition to sponsoring us, you joined the group and you've flown some missions with us. But why don't you take a minute and tell us who Luck is and tell us about what you do in Fox3 Managed Solutions.
Who you be?
Who is it? Oh, I think the mic is not coming through
Mike's
on
muted.
my end.
Mike's muted.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going through some technical difficulties right now.
There it is.
Hey.
There it is.
Hey!
Okay. All right.
All right. We'll just
I was just talking away and it was working. So now
we'll just either leave that in or cut it out as technical
It'd be
difficulties.
hilarious.
Anyways,
yeah.
back to you, Luck. Tell us
Alrighty.
about you and your business.
So Fox3 was started around 2020 during the pandemic. So I was in a group called the what the hell is the name of that group now? They don't even fly anymore. There was a really great group in Detroit, out of Detroit, and
Music City Vipers?
I was flying with them, and yes, you know them.
Yes, I do know of them.
Okay, so I flew with them, and Scott was my, was the leader of that group, and I flew with them and had a great time. And I remember we were setting up servers, and I'm like, dude, I could set up servers for you. I got servers out the yin yang at the house, right? Because this is what I do for a living. So I fired up a couple servers. I was running them out of my house. We had probably 5 servers running at one point, and they were all running great, and they were, being used for different things. World War II missions on one, the carrier group on the other. So I started thinking through it. I'm like, I could probably do this as a business, and then I can quit my day job, and that would be outstanding. But long story short, 4 years later, I still have my day job. I work 18 hours a day now on both, and it's not enough to quit either one. So, but it's fun. And,
not yet.
It's the love of aviation that keeps me driven. That's why I do it. But that group kind of broke up. But I started doing. Scott became my partner, and we were partners for about a year, and then he decided that he didn't want to be part of it, and he backed out. So it was just me, and then I had people helping me for a while. It was I probably had 4 or 5 people on the staff, and then we grew really fast.
I can imagine.
I remember. We started, and within probably the first 6 months, I had over 100 servers, and then it's been growing like crazy ever since until last year. Last year, it took the first dip, and it dipped right around RASBAM and DCS had their little shakeup, and but anyway, I'm digressing. So we have right now we have close to 300 servers. I
That's
have
awesome.
2 people that help me. Thank you, on staff, but it's mostly run by me. I do everything. So over the course of this 4 years, I have used my technical skills to automate and streamline as much as I can to the point where I just, I can do it. I did the last update in 15 minutes, so I was pretty happy about that. But so it's I'm not a mission guy. You can't. Someone calls me and says, "Hey, I have a problem with this script. I need help." I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. I don't do that stuff." Well, I can make the servers run circles out of DCS. And I remember when I first got it running on a server. I had an old server in the basement. It was a Dell 720. It had spinner disks. It was really bad. And I fired it up, and it was good for about 10 minutes, and it got choppy, right? And I started figuring out what the choppiness was. The disk access. And I'm like, hey, I bet if I build a gigantic RAM disk and put the whole thing in there, it'll run faster. And sure enough, it ran like a champ. And that's when I really got the idea. I'm like, I could be doing this, for a living. So at one point, I ran over 100 servers out of my basement, and realized that this is stupid. And I started buying cloud servers, and they're all in the cloud now. There's nothing in my basement now, but the cloud servers give us the more bandwidth and better uptime, and they run fantastic. And we have a good I'm pretty sure Fox3 has a good reputation with is
you guys
performance and uptime and all that.
I mean,
stuff.
anybody has a Fox3 server.
Yeah, if you don't, I know that.
Thank you.
Well, and without all those servers, you got so much space for sim rigs and stuff now, right?
Yeah, in fact, I want to build a sim rig in my basement with VR the whole shot. And it's on my list. It's been on my list forever. If I can come up with about $7,000, I want to do it with. But anyway, it's on my list for sure.
It's definitely worth it to build a rig, because when you have like a dedicated space to sit down and fly and mount your equipment and not set it up and tear it down and move it out of the way for a mouse or a microphone, or deconflict something,
right.
In the universal serial bus controller, it's Scud's got a pretty good rig. I got a good rig, and then one of the guys we fly with, he has the rig, and I think Scud and I aspire to be Scud and I definitely aspire to join that club. So
Vader does.
Vader.
He's got a full motion rig, and in his
he's got a whole
giant man cave
his man
with
cave.
with his whole arcade full of machines. And but as much as it's fun to fly with Vader, but with all this amazing sim rig, he's like 1 in 3 of joining a mission where he's not troubleshooting something.
That's the thing that scares me the most because, you know, the best rig I've ever seen. I'm going to call him out right here. I'm going to shout him out. Jared Taylor. You guys know Jared Taylor from the Wet Boys?
Jared Taylor. Yeah.
So so you guys know who he is. So he calls me one time on Discord and starts. He said, "Hey, I want to buy a server." Blah blah blah. We start talking. I'm like, I was just going to dinner, right? And I'm getting ready to get out of the car, and I get this Discord message in my car. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. So I jump on. He's got his camera on him, so I'm like, okay. I turn my camera on. I don't know who he is. And he's like, hey, this is Jared Taylor. I started, Black Rifle Coffee. I go, get the F out of here, right? Because I was like, no way. And but he was super cool, and he panned it around and showed me his rigs. And he's got 2 beautiful rigs, F-16 and F-18 rig, and they look fantastic. That's what I want.
I joined their.
That's the dream.
I joined their Discord because I got like this random invite to the Discord, and I joined their Discord. And the Wet Boys, that is like the most memeiest group. And he's hilarious. He comes through down here every once in a while, and I always try to catch up. Try to catch him.
Yeah, super cool guy.
Yeah.
So Luck, you told us about like the back end of like, what is Fox3, but who are you? Where'd you get your start? Tell us about that first McDonald's job.
How did DCS how did DCS find you?
So tell us about life. Like, who are you in the background? Like, what developed?
Sure. So, all right, I'm gonna go way back. When I was 5 years old,
Ooh.
I was often at my grandmother's house, and my grandmother would give me the A encyclopedia, and I would get this big old Britannia encyclopedia, those old ones, Britannica. I opened it up to the first colored glossy pages I found. It was airplane, right? And I'd open it up, and I saw all these beautiful, mostly piston-driven airplanes. Okay, I'm a bit older than you guys, I think. I'm probably the oldest one here, probably by 10 years. And I opened it. I'm 58.
You got us a little bit. You definitely got Fifi.
Yeah, you don't look 58.
Yeah, you get.
Well, it's because I'm immature as hell. In any case,
we have a podcast talking about video games.
The airplanes I saw, the biggest one, the first one was the big blue Corsair that was on that page.
F4, baby.
And ever since then, I've been an aviation freak. I'm outside the airplane. I still do that to this day. And so that got me into it, and I flew every sim possible until I was old enough to fly. I started working on my private license when I was 17, and finished when I was 18, and flew private for years until a friend of mine got killed in a plane crash, and I had little kids at the time, and I kind of gave it up. And but I still miss it, still love it, and I'm still, I can't walk past the History Channel when they're playing something about aviation. I'm just like, I got to see what it is, and I just love it so much. So that's really drove me throughout my life. I discovered computers. Now, so I got into tech when I was in high school, and I was in high school in 1983. So there was no tech, there was no internet, there were, and
he got into tech.
We got electricity now.
Yeah, exactly. I was I created the internet.
Oh,
I was on that. I was on this thing called FidoNet before the internet, and I built networks with other bulletin board operators, and that's how.
Did you work with?
I was a bulletin board. I was a bulletin board baby as well.
Did you work?
Yeah.
So, did you work with Al Gore?
I was going to say that. No, I was like, I'm not going to.
He invented the internet, right? I built it. So after that, I went to school. I was a computer science guy. I ended up moving down to Atlanta in 1991, and been in tech ever since. I lived in Australia for 2 years. My family and I moved to Australia in 2015 for work. Beautiful Melbourne. I loved it down there. Great people.
Yeah, you were down the street from Dog. He probably built your house.
Yeah, I lived in Beaumaris, tell him. And great place, great people. We lived there 2 years, and while we were there, we traveled all over the planet from that area. We were in New Zealand. I covered the whole area from India to Japan to. I was always on the plane, and it was great fun. We went to Dubai, and it was great stuff.
Did you ever go to Noosa?
Noosa.
So Noosa is like 2 hours from the Gold Coast, and it's supposed to be like the best surfing in the world. When I was there, I went to Noosa, spent a week there, and it was fantastic. It's perfect waves, perfect beach, everything.
I did go to the Gold Coast.
Yeah, Gold Coast is awesome.
Yeah,
Australia's on my bucket list.
Yeah, Melbourne's one of my favorite cities I've ever been to, and I've never been to the Gold Coast. My wife used to live there, but man, God, I love Australia.
Yeah, and then we moved back here, and I've been working in tech, and my day job, I am an AI practice director for a software services company. So I do crazy stuff right now, and it's been super busy. So my life is 18 hours at the desk every day. It's sometimes less, sometimes more, but it gets to the point where I'm like, I got to get out of here for a while, and my escape is flying. So when I got to fly with you guys last week, that was the first time I'd flown in probably 3 months.
Criminal.
And I miss it. I love flying. It's crazy. So
we'll have to get you in more often.
Yeah, you did.
Drag you away from the desk.
You did pretty good holding off those measurements. So
thank you. Yeah, I love the World War II planes.
Dude, that fight that you and I had on the second mission was one of my hardest fights I have had in a very long time in Warbirds, because that dude was just flying the shit out of that plane.
Well,
it was a little nicer, nothing to joke at.
Let's talk about it now. Let's get a little background. So we talked on the podcast a lot about the multiplayer campaign for Warbirds that Jimmy's been building. That we've all.
Oh yeah, we need a weekly plug.
Yeah, every week we talk about it because it's so much fun. But yeah, Luck's been talking about wanting to jump in and fly with us, and I don't know, Jimmy sent him a message. He's like, "Warbirds tonight," and
that was it.
It looks like, "Yep, I'm there. Let's go."
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we did a bomber escort mission, and then we did what was the other one?
We did the intercept of the bombers coming across the channel to.
Yeah. Channel sweep.
That was awesome.
So much fun.
When are you going to publish that mission set?
I got 9 missions built. I got 2 more roughed in. We have all the voiceovers, everything fleshed out on 7. I still haven't built to D-Day yet, and then once we get to D-Day, we're probably 2 missions from D-Day. Once we get to D-Day, we'll transition from bomber escorts and fighter sweeps to a ground support, and which Scott gave me fantastic ideas on how to implement those missions, and we'll get 4 or 5 of those in, getting more to the jug atmosphere, and then we'll probably wrap it, I think.
Nice.
Almost done. Before we move on, I want to talk a little bit more about Fox3 Managed Solutions. This is a DCS podcast, and obviously that's where everyone listening probably knows you from. But you're not just a DCS server host, right? You guys do other servers for other video games as well?
Yeah, so we just introduced IL2 servers, and we have a few IL2 server customers at the moment. Just started, and the IL2 Sturmovik, that's a hard one, because to get the key, you have to contact support, and they have to give you a special key so you can even start the server. And so I got past that obstacle. Now we're doing it, and it's funny because the game is actually easier. I call that one a game. DCS is a sim, but I think it's easier to host that one because it requires less as far as memory goes and stuff like that. It runs more disk intensive, but it does have less memory requirements. So it's easy to host for me anyway. And hopefully we'll get some more customers on that soon. And we also host unmanaged servers. Like if you want a Linux server or a Windows server for something else, we could do those as well. So although I don't have many customers of that, I think I have 1 or 2 actually, not many. I just maybe I'm not advertising in the right spots, just doing DCS advertising, I think. But anyway, if I get to 350, 400 servers, maybe I can do this for 100% of my time. So I would imagine if you got to a point where you are only putting your attention to the servers, you probably already have the routines down, but I assume there would be some sort of gain there, right, where you can put more attention, maybe more automation, or make the process smoother. Yes, yeah, and I'm doing I'm actually working on quite a bit right now. So I could tell you guys, I don't know if you've been on my site, so you've probably seen our liveries generator. That's partially built. It only does the F-18 at the moment. Once we can
That's
get
the only
that
one it
wide
needs.
open, I need more art.
It's the only one you need.
Yeah. Once we get
No
the other art, I would love
C-130?
to do all the planes. Not yet.
No, I think Fifi's scared to touch that one after last week.
And then, but I'm also working on an AI mission generator. So this has been something I've been working on for quite a while. I work with AI often, and so I'm trying to say, hey, I want to create a mission. I want it to be a World War II mission. I want it to be against Germans, Americans, and Brits. I want it to be on this map. I want it to have these sorts of things like fighter sweeps, incoming bombers, and it generated. And
what does it
I think
what does it generate? Does it generate like when you open it and you open the what is it? Open the when you what's the word? So when you open the zip, when you open the Miz, does it generate like a Lua in there with all of that, or?
Yeah, it does the Lewis scripts, all the identify. That's what I'm getting toward. It's not there yet, but
so it does mission. It does warehouse.
I'll,
the something 10 file. Oh, it's awesome.
Yep, the Lua, and once that's built, if we could do that for a scenario, you can just go to this website, enter your parameters, creates the mission, drops it, and then you just download it. That's what I want. It's a little far away. I'm working hard on it, but it's also like, when do I work on it? Because I have so much going on. But the other thing I'm working on is when you make a ticket right now on Fox3, it goes straight to a person. I'd like to hit it through an AI, and just by looking at the ticket, I could come back and say, hey, have you tried this? And then that would prevent a lot of unnecessary tickets that I have to do. But those sorts of things are coming along. I have an AI right now. I have a ChatGPT assistant that's all about DCS. You could ask it almost anything about DCS, and it'll answer the questions. You can tell it, how do I hover in a Apache, and it'll give you instructions on how to do it. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Training AI is crazy. Like when I just swapped my major over from software development, but I learned real quick, like, I used like the GitHub AI and Visual Studio, and then I used the ChatGPT AI, and I had it trained to train me on how to do it. But man, I had like a mental breakdown for 3 weeks over a semicolon, so I just couldn't. I was like, man,
yes,
I had to swap my major after that. I couldn't hack it.
So with that AI mission generator, that would definitely, I think, drive more people to Fox3, because I think one of the first things we talked about in our first episodes is DCS is great at giving us the tools, but DCS is terrible. Not terrible. I'm not saying, DCS is bad, but the environment, it's not conducive to creating it to be what you want it to be, like custom mission sets, without going out and buying a campaign.
Right.
But then if you buy a campaign, you can't fly with the homies, so you either have to open the encyclopedia on Mission Editor and then dive into triggers and all that. So I think content is a huge thing. That would definitely, I think.
Yeah. And
that's what it needs. And I know ED's working on the dynamic mission campaign editor and all that stuff. And that's going to be great if they ever come out with it. But I thought something in the short term that would generate stuff would be outstanding.
Yeah, because I think the only other one out there right now is either you have to have a Jimmy in your group, or you have to have like Liberation. Yeah. Remember, I used to host Liberation stuff all the time, and that was
Liberation's not bad. Foothold, what's the other one?
It all goes back to that dude's script, Dresdick or whatever his name was. He walked away 2 years ago. Yep,
that's right. Yep,
DZ.
Yep. But that's the kind of exactly. And a lot of those things aren't maintained, and now they don't run very well anymore. And I've seen a drop off from that, actually.
And then you get
business. So.
Yeah, and then you get angry emails about why it's not working on the server.
Right. Oh, it works at home. I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I wish I had $1 for every time someone said that to me. It works on my server at home.
Okay, bud.
Like, you're running the dedicated server?
So you alluded to flying with a Viper group. At least it sounded like that's what it was. And then you talk about loving the Warbirds, the Corsair being a standout, airplane in your development as an aviation fanatic. So in DCS, what's your go-to? Like, what are you drawn to? What's your module?
So I would have to say I probably spend most of my time in the F-14.
Tomcat.
Nice.
Meow. Spend a considerable time in the 16, and then all the Warbirds. and I like the Huey too.
Yeah.
And the Chinook. Okay, so it's weird. I have all the models, and I literally fly probably I mean, I don't care. I don't care how rusty I am. I'll get in it and fly it and enjoy it. Like I have the F-18, but I suck at it now because I was I played the heck out of it. And then I got in, and one day I'm like looking at stuff. I'm like, I don't remember how to do anything anymore. So
that's how I am with the Viper.
Yeah, it's us anytime we ever hop in anything and fly it. It's 5 minutes of us going, how do we hey, how do you turn this thing on again?
Anybody remember where the battery is?
Right. Yeah, where's the battery switch?
Right.
Number one question.
Like I love air to air. That's my thing. And you get me on in an F4. I cannot remember for the life of me how the heck do I go?
Oh, I don't touch that thing.
And how do yeah, it's just like, I need to get Spud Knocker to help me with some of that stuff.
I love Scott and I've been flying the F4 a little bit. That's a lot of fun.
What's your favorite Warbird? Since you have all of them.
Favorite Warbird.
Say it.
So I do have them all. My go-to is the 51, but I like the 47 and the Spitfire, and I love the Corsair. And I don't have much time in the Corsair yet, so I don't have an opinion yet.
All right. Well, that sets us up for the next question.
Yep.
Which is
marry one, kill one.
The debate's already been settled. It's already been settled. But,
no, it's not settled. It's not over until Nick Gray says one way or the other. It is not settled.
Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt in a Mustang, fighting against Sean Connery as James Bond in a Spitfire.
Sean Connery was the best James Bond, and he has got that debonair badassery that I think is
don't do this to me.
Fantastic. But you got to go with the Mustang because it's the American powerhouse. So even though it does have a British engine,
doesn't matter.
And
you said Mustang.
And a dude who can't open a door flying it.
That's true.
Yeah. You gotta understand too, like as badass as the Mustang is, when you put middle tooth Tom in it, it may not be as good.
It's not, you know what? I'm just gonna take the win. I'm just gonna take the win as it is. I'm gonna put some respect on that name.
Look, you're kind of a standout because everyone always goes straight to Sean Connery in the Spit.
I feel like it's only because everybody has it out for me.
That's Jimmy's way of saying you're wrong. But,
the Spitfire. So don't get me wrong, the Spitfires.
Yeah, and Sean Connery as James Bond flying it. He's like, oh my God.
He already said it. You can't win him back over.
Oh, that's even better.
I can analyze the Spitfire in a 51 a little further. I think the Spitfire is great for turns. It's great for a knife fight, but you want the ability to be able to get away quick and still have the ability to climb if you need to in that 51, which I love.
Yep,
it's true.
And you basically just summed up that entire fight we had last week with that Messerschmitt. Is that
so? Yeah, let's move now into Fifi. Do you want to do rapid fire questions?
Yeah.
These are as we've explained on past episodes, questions that the guest doesn't get ahead of time, and they're like one answer, quick questions.
Yeah, so just rapid fire.
Uh-oh.
These are they're supposed to be stupid and dumb, so it's that's half the fun of it. So let me know when you're ready.
Perfect. I'm stupid and dumb.
The bar's really low.
I'm ready. Let's go.
We haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah. All right. Question 1: do you dream in logs or crashes?
I haven't heard
crashes.
All right. Question 2: is your firewall emotionally damaged yet?
No, not yet.
3: is your uptime longer than a Hornet startup?
Yes.
4: do you offer?
Jimmy just goes potatoes.
4: do you offer emotional support with each server?
Yeah, he does.
Unfortunately, yes, because
anytime.
I get a lot of questions and a lot of.
Anytime
we can vouch for that.
I abuse that too because I'll be like, I don't do tickets. I'm luck. What the fuck, dude?
between you and Paddles and the guy who runs Paddles, like those are the two best.
I love Dutchy.
Has Eagle Dynamics sent you any sorry cards yet?
No, but I have to say, and this is Big New. He's been very nice to me. He gives me a tip off sometimes when there's going to be a patch, which is wonderful. And I tell him what I see, like, hey, I noticed that I'm seeing more crashes, or hey, I noticed that memory usage is through the roof, or something like that, and they usually get a little feedback that they wouldn't normally get. So that's I hope that helps.
That's fair.
So question, not to sidebar, but with the API change, did you get a heads up on that one?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. A couple days, and I rolled out the fix to it before the patch.
And I don't even think it was, the internet was on fire for people who didn't understand it, and they were like, "Oh my god!" Like pitchforks. But I don't know that it was that big of a thing. What do you think?
For security, it was, and I think it makes things more secure. But from a standpoint of editing the config file, it was nothing. So
that's fair. All right, back to the questions. Question number 6. Now, this one just is before you went cloud-based with your servers, but did any of your servers restarts count as cardio, running back and forth?
So I tell you a funny story.
Oh, this is great.
So whenever Christmas time around here in Atlanta, it rains all the time. It's just raining all the time. So I had all these Christmas lights out, and it's raining, and half my lights were off because of the water running through the lines, and I noticed it was killing my basement, where all the servers were, pretty often. And one time I was out of town in Italy, and the basement crashed, and the lights were off, power was out, and I had to call one of my daughters, or my wife's niece, to come over, and she had to drive like an hour, come to the house, turn everything back on for me. and it wasn't even any servers that were running customers, but there were servers I had to have because I needed them for connectivity from where I was, in Italy. So it was a real pain. But that was like, everything's got to go in the cloud. I can't deal with this anymore.
That's fair. All right. So again, going back to when you had physicalized servers, did you ever pay any of the server hamsters combat pay for everything they had to do with?
I would say yes.
Final question. Did you secretly power the servers with all the hate from Hoggett?
I don't have any hate for Hoggett. I used to fly on there a while back, but when I first started flying, I was just, all I had was the F-15 FC1 model, and then
that's a good module.
Where I flew. Yeah, that's where I learned how to not to kill other friendly players. So.
What's funny is, it's like, I think you're like the only guy, you're like the only entity in DCS that does not get blasted by the public community.
Really?
Yeah, I think everybody's nice. Everybody's nice to the Fox3 guys.
Well, yeah, one light switch and they don't get to play anymore.
Yeah. See, the thing, it's usually the three people you don't mess with: people that manage your money, make your food, and serve your drinks, and run your server.
That's good.
Well.
Oh man,
I have been guilty of being. So I'm Italian, and I have a temper, and I have been guilty of firing customers.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, okay. No, you can't just gloss over this. You can keep names out of it. But
yeah, how bad does it have to be?
Give us a good one.
Yeah, what?
When they come in and they're disrespectful, or they treat me like, hey man, you need to just fix this, and I'm like, first of all, this is not a server problem, this is a mission problem. Or when they say, hey, my server's crashing, I go, okay, I'll go look at it. I don't usually go look at their logs and stuff, because they have the logs themselves, they can look at it. So I go look at the logs, and I see it's crashing on SL Mod, or one of the many 50 airplanes that they have loaded, or third-party mods, or all this, and it's crashing, and I'm like, your CPUs are pegged, your memory's pegged, you don't have a big enough server to run the mission you're trying to run, and they think it's the server. and that makes me mad. It's because people they think they're running a Minecraft server and they're going to just run their friends on it, and doesn't work that way. So, so anyway, yes, sometimes I get a little grumpy.
Yeah,
I can see that.
So looking at everybody in the 56 OG that has hit me up the past few days about how come we don't have this mod or how come we don't have this mod. That's why.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody asked Fifi where the UH-60 is. It's
not in there, and
not
I
anywhere
am
in my
heartbroken
stuff
about it because that's the only helicopter.
The UH-60 is a pretty stable mod, I would say. In fact, the only mod that I've had big problems with, and you're not going to like this, is the C-130, the third-party C-130.
Oh, I'm out of here.
I think that's because it's not abandoned. It's not abandoned, but the mod itself is extremely dated. It's not catching any updates now because it's transitioning from mod to module. It's the same thing with the with the 339 and what was the other one? There was one other one that went through a phase of being a great community mod and then became a mod. Man, what am I thinking of?
I thought it was only the 339 and the Hercules.
It might be. Yeah.
I literally, I had just, I no joke, just watched the Enigma ASC interview today, and if you guys haven't caught that, check that out. That's a really good interview. But actually, what's crazy is they recognized how dated that mod was for the 130, and it shares no lines of code similar to the old C-130.
Wow.
They had to they were going to try to, and then he had to completely go through and just rewrite everything. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I can't wait to get the new version of it. I mean, I've ordered it already. I can't wait.
Same.
Yep. 12 minutes, 27 seconds, but I'm not going to go into it because I don't really need to just be shut down by you guys again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was hilarious, though.
We were very supportive on the last episode.
I just want to drop the Moab.
Yes.
How painfully awkward that was. So aside from everything else, like what's the hardest part about managing like everything?
I'll tell you what the hardest part is when I have to do something and I have to touch every single server. Usually I can say, okay, I have this thing, I have to put it into a script and it rolls it out, right? But when I have to physically touch every single server to do something specific, and especially when they're self-inflicted, because I've done this, I have to. It's all hands at the house. I get my daughter, my son, my wife. You're gonna log in. And you're gonna start doing this stuff. Here's what you got to do exactly. And I tell everybody step by step by step. And that's a pain. And sometimes we have these fire drills where it takes we have to hit 277 servers or whatever to install an update that I missed or something like that. And it's a real pain.
And tell them, basically just tell them it's like, this is your Christmas money. If you want Christmas, this is what you do.
Right.
Yeah. For those listening, if you guys have never flown Fox3 or had a Fox3 server, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when there would be an update, Luck would get on, he'd say, hey, servers 1 through 50 updated, and you would sit and wait on an update day because he'd work through this. And what it is now, I don't even know that you pushed out a message during the last update aside from, hey, everything's updated. So the process and the improvement that you have in that is monumental.
Yeah, looking back at the day when they were huge, like we had updates that were over 100 gig, right? So download 100 gig, extracting 100 gig, installing everything, then going to that, and that just took so long. And the problem is not necessarily the size, except for when I run out of space, because every server. So if you have a server with every single map, it's almost 700 gigs.
It's big.
So 700 gigs across all those servers. Disk space is the biggest problem I have because I only have so much. I can't get, once I get a server in the cloud, I can't add more space to it most of the time. It's locked in for 2 years. And so when I get real tight, it gets real scary, and I've actually deleted people's servers to make room for the update and had to re-add the servers.
Oh, yeah.
After.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's a bad day when it happens for me.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh my God. So,
and
no, go ahead.
I was just say, for those who are not flying on Fox3 servers, or if you have, you probably noticed this too, but ping rate and bandwidth are phenomenal. And that was the biggest improvement for us in our group when we went to Fox3 for our servers.
And it's
you want to know why?
Yeah,
actually.
So this goes out to all those people out there that say I can host my own server.
Used to be us.
There's a lot of really talented people out there, and I acknowledge their talent. But I realized this when I was hosting them at home, is it comes down to bandwidth, right? So at home, your home residential bandwidth, even if you have fiber, is usually about 1 gigabyte up and 1 gigabyte down. And if you can, there's some that have more, and you guys are lucky if you have it, but the cloud servers I buy have 4 to 10 gigabits up and down.
Wow!
And
holy crap!
That makes all the difference in the world. I use NVMe drives only. I use EPIC processors only, and so I do everything in mind when I set it up is about performance for DCS. Yeah. So,
what was your power bill like when you were running servers out of your own house?
Because oddly, it wasn't that bad because I only had 4 big servers, and they didn't. You hear them. You open the door of the basement.
From got server X going.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't bad. To be honest, I don't even remember. But I'd have to pay my wife so much money for power. But other than that, it wasn't. I didn't notice a huge difference when I moved to one of the cloud because the cloud's way more expensive. So it's
that's fair.
The way
what about your heating bill?
Yeah.
Was your heating bill cheaper when you had the server racks downstairs?
Yes, the cooling bill now in the basement was not.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He's just ducting right off the servers. No furnace.
You can.
Oh, man,
when I used to host the server here for the 56, I had my personal machine over here, then I had the server machine on the second shelf, and after like a long gaming session, like my room would be toasty, and I would start to feel it with my leg that's closer to the server rack, and that thing cooking. So I could not imagine, a Fox3 size situation, beside me as I'm trying to play DCS.
My biggest data center is in Arizona, and I've never been to it, so I couldn't tell you what it looks like, whatever. But I have 4 gigantic servers out there, and I'm sorry, I have 6 gigantic servers out there, and these things are 1 terabyte of RAM. And they have
RAM?
48
How many frames you getting, bro?
Well, you can't even run a DCS server on that. You have to
partition it.
Up and yeah. So you're looking at like two dual 48 core processors, and these things are pretty badass. And they all have 10 gig pipes, and I have a 20 terabyte limit for bandwidth total. So every month I'm looking at that. First thing I do is look at how much I do. 15 terabytes. Thank goodness. Because if I go over, I'm paid by the byte, and it's bad.
Oof.
So
what CPUs do you run? Which CPUs are in your servers?
They're all EPIC 73s or 74s or 92s or no, they're 92s. I can't remember. They're 9 somethings. EPIC 9s. That's the new one I have in Germany right now.
So how does that work? Do you call like a data center and been like, hey, I want to buy some server space?
Yeah, I have multiple vendors that I use, and I spec out a machine that I'll need, and then I try to anticipate how much space. The problem is when I buy these servers, I have usually a 2-year commit, and if I get the capacity is always the issue, right? If I'm over capacity, I'm stuck with it. If I'm under capacity, it's not enough, and if I'm over capacity, I'm losing money. So that's what it comes down to. So it's right now I'm over capacity by about probably 75 to 100 servers. So if I have until I get more, I'm like riding that edge, and it just like last month I had to throw in $950 of my own money to make this thing keep going, but it's just because of summer slowdown and all that good stuff.
And for anybody who's listening, if you're interested in Fox3, don't forget to use the Hooligans code Hooligans26. Get 10% off.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
and
get yourself a Fox3 server.
I got the sweaty question here. Here's the hard one.
The sweaty question.
What will it take to get a sticker from the High Alpha Hooligans on your server racks?
And one, I'll do it. I gotta send you guys some challenge coins too. I got challenge coins, Fox3.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah,
dude!
Cool.
I have one more sticker sample pack. I can get that out to you probably tomorrow or day after.
I'll drive.
Awesome.
I'll drive it.
I'll send out these.
I'll drive it up to you.
Challenge coins. There you go.
Give me an excuse to visit Bucky's on the way.
Oh, I love Bucky's.
Bucky's.
Yeah, I love Bucky's. I love Bucky's.
Oh man. So what's the future plans for Fox3 besides just continually growing it? You got anything super cool that you're working on?
Yeah. Well, besides the AI generated missions, and finishing out the delivery system, the other thing would be like an AI ticket system that would kind of reduce the amount of load I have, and then the other thing would be a fully automated update day where I just say, okay, update. It just does it.
It's not.
That's what I'm looking for.
So your AI ticket system isn't going to be like what it is for like Medicare companies, right? Like where it just automatically denies everybody.
No. So the way I envision it, it would be as they make the ticket, they describe the issue. This thing would come back with, hey, have you tried this? Or here's what you should do. And
have you tried turning the power off and back on again?
9 times out of 10, it's reboot your server, but there are occasions when there's problems.
That'd be cool.
There's a lot of times where DCS actually disconnects from the ED login site. So when that happens, when you try to run it, even though it says it's there, you go to the web GUI, it's there. You click run a mission, it says some error pops up and it won't run it.
That's happened to us a few times.
Reboot your
not on your server.
Yeah, reboot it. That's just well, it happens on everybody, and it's just you just got to reboot the server to get the reconnection to the ED login system.
I remember the first time it happened to Scott and I. Like we were sitting there screaming at each other for about 5 minutes before we realized what happened.
Yeah, it's such a funny joke in the IT world, right? That have you tried turning it off and back on? But it's legit, and it extends into the aviation world. I fly an Airbus 220, and it's all computer. And it doesn't happen a lot, but there are times where you'll call maintenance and you'll be like, this isn't working on the plane. And that is their first response is like, have you powered the plane down entirely and then restarted it? And we're like, like the passengers are already on, but we'll do that. And sure enough, it's like, oh, it's fixed.
Guys.
Awesome.
It's working.
It's working.
Oh man.
No.
So
as long as it's not a hot day in Atlanta, we're okay with that.
Yeah.
There you go. No, the biggest thing is, I have to say is we have a wonderful community. The DCS community is a wonderful community. We have, and if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't do this. I mean, because they stick up for us, they stick up for each other. I think that the more we do together, the more missions that we do together, the more the modules that we buy and all that stuff, the more ED can produce more content, and that keeps it all going. So that's why I really do this. I mean, I do it because I certainly provide a service that's much needed in the DCS space, but it also it's for the like I said, it's because I love the content and I love the fly and I love the community that we have. That really makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Community is important, and and almost everybody that is playing this game is doing it with, even if they don't recognize it. Sometimes there's some passion. You don't invest the time and learn the modules and deal with the updates and the patches and
keybinds.
You don't do that
right.
if you're not passionate about this. So all of what it takes to have a good experience in DCS, all that hill climbing is driven by passion. And so the player base is pretty passionate, which makes it really fun.
Yeah, think about it. Think about the entry level here. We all had to spend money on controllers. We all had to spend money on a graphics card that can run it. We all had to buy the modules. We all have, there's all so much expense involved. You want to make it work. And like right now, I have other games that I play obviously sometimes, but I feel guilty. It's like, but I have so much money wrapped up in this other one. I want to go pay to play DCS.
Yeah, it's the same.
I only play 2 games because I have so much money wrapped up in those 2 games.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll drop
Right.
coin on DCS without even hesitating. Right?
It's
Without even
Same here.
hesitating.
Same here.
And we were playing, me, Jimmy, and a few others. We were playing because we all have VR for DCS. We decided to jump in and play Contractors. It's kind of where we ended up. We wanted to do first person shooters in VR, and we ended up playing Contractors. And then the next, immediately the next day, a couple of us are buying gun stocks for our controllers to make it more realistic. And it's like $35-$40 for a gun stock, and I'm hemming and hawing over this purchase. I'm like, but I mean, do I really need a gun stock for a game? But if it's DCS, it's like,
dude,
right.
Without even thinking about it, I'm like,
the same day it was the C-130 that dropped, and we're all like, yo, $79 pre-order, let's go.
yeah, pre-order done. $30 for a gun stock, though. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, just today, I put on my other headset, and I noticed my head tracker, the wire popped out underneath the bottom of it. I'm like, so I need to get another one, right? So, and I'm thinking, do I want to get a head tracker, or do I want to get an eye tracker, or should I just go for VR? And
don't even question it.
I know, but but I'm a keyboard guy. I use G to put my gear up.
No,
still.
you will. I'm telling you,
head tracking mafia.
The day that you sit inside, because you said at the beginning of the episode, you want to build a sim pit, right? And why do we want to build a sim pit? We want to emulate the real thing. We want to feel like it's a real thing. And when you get in that VR,
that's right.
And you go to your front right knee, you turn that battery on. You go over to your left, front butt cheek. You hit your APU, hit right engine start. In VR.
When you need to check the aft fuel tank in the fuselage tank in the Mustang, and you actually have to turn your head around.
Yeah.
And like look behind the seat.
The immersion that you get, which you've already alluded to that you want. And you already partner with Pimax, dude. I mean, come on, dude.
I know. I got to just pull the trigger and do it.
You're partnered with Pimax and you're not running VR? That's awesome.
You need money. It's like, golly.
It's a lot of cash.
You need to tell Pimax. They need to, pony up. Be like, hey, you want this red fox floating around?
I don't own a Ferrari, but maybe I should try partnering.
So Pimax, if you're watching,
you
gotta send that over to Luck. Get him some.
It is.
Pimax has been pretty good to me yet so far, and if Jennifer from Pimax is listening, I'm gonna pull the trigger on that soon. Man. I guess I get the Crystal Light.
Yeah, Crystal Light is.
But I'll still get
fantastic.
The eye tracker.
So I'm running the Crystal Light now, and it's kind of funny because I'm always in DCS flat panel and mission editor, and even with the way I have my settings set up with like a good monitor, high resolution OLED, I sat there, and I'm like, it's not the same experience. And then because I run OpenTrack and Track AI for when I'm testing, and then you sit in that Pimax. And it is zero comparison. It's like going from a Logitech 3D Extreme Pro up to the Moza. Like you can't even compare. Like, yes, they do the same thing. Yes, you can play the same game, but there's miles. I see Scud smiling. He's thinking the exact same thing. Like,
I am, but there is the caveat though. If you're relying on keyboard, there's a lot of key binding magic that has to happen. And then I've got my keyboard like on my sim rig. I've got it where I can reach it, and then I 3D printed little buttons I glued on certain keys, so without seeing in VR I can put my hands on the keyboard and find like the important keys. Yeah, it's
great idea.
It's funny because Scud told me that. I was like, dude, send me the STL. He's like, bro, just do it. I was like, send me the STL.
I sent him the STL, and it's literally a 1 millimeter high, 3 millimeter diameter button. Like it's not much of an STL, man.
I don't STL at all. Like, so my wife, she runs the STEM department at a school here, and so we have all the toys. And anytime I need anything, I just give her the STL. Be like, can you print this, please? And she's like, can you do it? And I was like, I have no idea what 3D printing is beyond magic of plastic. So,
oh man.
Well, before we go, let's just hand the mic over to Luck. And is there anything you want to talk about that we didn't cover? Anything while you have the audience?
Any accusations?
I can't think of much, but I would like to just say we got that tournament coming up for you guys.
Yes,
big one. Yes.
I think that that's a big deal, and I'm looking forward to it. And that's, these tournaments make the community. I think that when you can brag about something in especially a dogfight tournament, I think there's so much to it. You find out who the players are, right? Because I did a dogfight tournament last year. We had a hell of a great time, and the kid that won this, he was this kid out of like Norway or something. He was like 15 years old, and he had like a girl's voice, but he won in an F-14, and he clobbered everybody. And I was like, wow.
Well,
yeah.
And if you're listening, I'm sorry I said you had a girl's voice, but yeah, he
sound like a man.
But when you get those people that can really make the jets do whatever, and what I'd like to see honestly is a World War II tournament, because I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Ooh, that would be
we can do that.
Yeah,
we got to get through the jet tournament. We can host a World War II Warbird dogfight.
It could be hosted by Bulletproof Bob Barnes.
Bulletproof Bob Barnes.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. So Saturday. August
Sunday.
23rd is not Sunday. That was my mistake.
I
got so hung up on the Sunday that I wrote that in there, and it was Saturday.
I'm gonna
Saturday, August 23rd is when it's gonna happen. We'll put the link in the video here. We'll probably run the commercial for it at the end of the video. But please go look and sign up and join us on the dogfight tournament.
If we can,
three prizes given away.
If we can get everybody signed up, I'm gonna put a $50 cash bounty on Silent, because he's in the tournament.
Yeah.
And this is my chance.
And for the tournament, we've had a lot of people sign up and then back out, and I'll ask like, "Why'd you back out?" They're like, "Oh, I'm not good enough." Like, bro, the plane is flying. Point the pointy fast end at the bad guy. Pull the trigger, because everyone is worried about this like skill, like I don't know, gatekeeper.
It's about having fun anyway.
Yeah, it is about having fun, and
free.
it's single elimination.
It's
right?
free.
They're going to do 3 rounds for the final 2, but if you go up in a round and it's if you get killed, you're out, and you may go up against somebody who has mad skills, and you may get that lucky BB that takes them out. So they might just cross your nose at the right time, squeeze the trigger, and you just took out an ace.
That is a very true statement.
Yeah. You never know. And one thing I'll commit to is I'll throw in a prize too for a module for one.
Another one.
Damn.
Another
yes.
one.
Another one.
The server for us. You already do the server for us, man.
I don't mind. I mean, it helps. Like I said, it gets more people in the community.
Another one.
And if I can't, I would like to mention one thing.
Go ahead.
So, I got approached by these guys who are they're ex-Top Gun pilots, okay? And I'm under NDA, so I can't mention too much, but they're trying to bring DCS to an esport.
No.
And I'm one of their technical advisors. It's coming.
Do they need announcers?
They are going to be. They probably do.
Maybe partners.
They have. They do, of course, they do, and I've been working with them quite a bit. They're fantastic, super smart guys. And it's coming, and Eagle Dynamics is involved with them, and I could just see this thing taking off. And if it takes off, it's going to be fantastic for the DCS community.
Oh hell yeah! Esports is a great place for DCS. I think it would find a home there really nice if it's well done.
Yeah. Send them our way.
You should.
You can't.
You should see if one or two of them want to come and enter the tournament under the name of the project, or just them and see
Franz Herman.
Yeah, well, we had
this conversation
with them. We had this conversation with them, and when you talk about Marine Top Gun colonels playing against people like me, if they can't lose, right? Because if they lose, it looks pretty bad, and so it's kind of an interesting conundrum for them. I can understand it, and but one of the things that we have advantage of over them is we're not going on anything that slows us down, where they have some training that might slow them down on certain maneuvers and things like that. So it's kind of a really interesting problem, but these guys are super smart, super funded, and I think they're going to go places. So I'm really rooting for them. So that's all I'm going to say.
Excited. That's awesome.
Because it's not official yet.
Very excited about that.
And if they watch and if they want to be part of this, I'll introduce you guys to them. And they
send them the episode. Tell them you found some 40-year-olds, some fat guys that play video games, and I'm not 40.
I'm just fat. I'm not 40.
But yeah, that's going back to that very first episode, we want to build the community. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, this is all good.
That's
all
what
good
this
stuff.
is about.
All right,
that's fantastic.
Coming up on that hour. Yeah, Jimmy.
Fifi, you got anything to send an episode off with?
No, just want to thank all of our sponsors, including the OG, Luck, and then with Fox3, and then of course Heapler, Eagle Dynamics, and the
Grinelli Designs,
and DCS for disabled veterans. I know I just totally butchered that name, and Toby's gonna just really go after me for that one. But
DCS for disabilities.
Yeah, DCS for disabilities. But yeah. So all of our partners and sponsors, thank you.
Nine Line, you hype us up a lot, dude.
Yeah.
The GIF. He responded with the GIF again.
Yeah, he did. The last episode, we talked about him responding with GIFs, and that was his response to it.
Yeah, it was awesome. But we got the Reddit going on, so if you guys want to jump in there and get that going, I haven't looked at it, and I need to pay attention to it more. And then also, Hog It Sucks. Thanks. All right, cool. Next.
Well, look, thanks for being here. Thanks for taking your time to join the podcast, and thanks for taking a chance on this ragtag group of 40-year-old gamers.
Not 40.
Doing what we do here.
The music got me hooked.
The kazoo is the hook, isn't it?
So okay, about the kazoo. So when we were first started, and I was looking for music, and I was like, let me try this one, and I was like, it was like all like the rock music. I was listening to everybody else and seeing how that was going, and then I think we did an episode where we were just doing something stupid, and the kazoo music kind of fit for like this, because I was looking for Send in the Clowns. And then I played it, and then I did it, and everybody loved it, and I was like, okay, cool, that one worked. And then I changed it the next episode, and then I got so much hate mail from everybody about bringing the kazoo back. So now the kazoo's stuck, and like I'm humming it. My daughter knows it now, and she hums it around the house. She's only like a year and a half old. Like my wife hums it now. So bad.
So when I saw the first episode and I saw the music, I'm like, oh yeah, these guys are for me.
Perfect.
All right, Jimmy, you got fatherly advice
actually
for the viewers?
So for everybody out there, when you're in a situation where you have boogers in your nose, remember your fingers don't go in there and your boogers don't go on windows.
There it is. Rifle kazoo.